Hi, I'm Fred. Welcome back to the Forever Bedrock Realm. Today we're finally going to build our cheap and easy Guardian farm. What makes it cheap and easy? No trips to the Nether are needed for this farm. This design is from Silent Whisperer from like 2 or 3 years ago. He's got much better updated designs, but this is cheap and easy. So with every Guardian farm like this, unlike my last one, you do have to mark out the spawn locations. On Bedrock, there's only 25 in any given in any given monument. So basically you find the northwest corner. You know it's the northwest because it's the I don't know, northwest. You can tell it's the northwest by the X and Z being a negative. I actually use the sun. Where's the sun? Oh, it's at noon. Okay, when it's at noon, you can't really do that. You can use a map. You can use a sunflower trick. They always face east. I don't use a sunflower trick. I can never remember what it is. And then go in by 2 by 2. And that spot right there is your first spawn spot. From there, it's just a grid pattern, but not an even grid. Oh no, that would be too easy. You skip 10, you skip 15, you skip 15, you skip 9. There you go. To the side, down, done. We're going to want an AFK spot somewhere near, but not on top of the middle spawn spot. What I did first here was actually just kind of diagram out where I'm going to have the ice and water flowing so we can get all the stuff to that spot and collect all the yummy goodies. Now, either before or after you have your spawning spots marked, you need to build a tray. You can build it all the way down to the base floor of the ocean monument if you want, but why bother going all the way down there? Just do it up here. Place in... Okay, who's shooting at me? Ooh, someone's been shooting at me for a while. Let's talk about this over here. You've got your spawn locations marked. You've got your tray built. Dig out 4 blocks starting at your spawn location, whatever direction you want to send your drops. And then facing towards the spawn location, put in a dispenser. Dispenser, not dropper. Big difference. So let's put in all these dispensers. Now this next step is optional, but it's always good to put redstone on mismatched stone from around you where you are so you know what's going on. Yes, obviously purple is not something you can get without having gone to the Nether first. This is just a block I'm choosing. Choose another block. This is cheap and easy. It's not always... It's kind of a case of do what I say, not what I do sometimes. Alright? Sorry. I'm a dad, I'm allowed. Basically, I'm always going to put it on the side that's nearest to our central location. And then we put in 3 glass. And across from those 3 glass, you put 2 more solid blocks and 1 more glass. So 2 solid ones are closest to your dispenser. Okay, and now we put a slab, a top slab there. And one of your building blocks on either side of this redstone space. Hey, it's Fred from the future. These slabs, they gotta go. The experience orbs are being caught up on them, which is causing so much lag you can only run it for 1 minute. Do this instead. Put in a trapdoor, any kind, doesn't matter. Make it go up and down. Slime a block on top. And go ahead and place your redstone dots right between those blocks. Now we put our pistons in. 1 on this block closest to the dispenser. 1 on top of that redstone dot. Now it's time for 3 glass here. And 1 solid block here. Trust me, little man, you don't want any part of this. Go on home. Now you want one of these solid blocks there, one of your glass blocks there. And then redstone here next to your pistons. And on top of the redstone, another block. Then we need repeaters going into that block. I said into from both sides. You would think that getting 50 tridents for this farm would be the worst part. Luckily, you've already built the cheap and easy AFK gold and copper farms. You already have tons of tridents. Put your water buckets in your dispensers. Now go ahead and grab a torch and test all of these. This is it working. Before we finish up each segment, we need to create our packed ice paths all the way over here, which will be our elevator spot. Now, if this was not a cheap and easy, we would throw in a little bit of soul sand here and shoot them up in a water bubble column thingy. But you don't need that. Just put a water column. They'll float up. It'll be slow. You might lose some. You probably won't. Who cares? Cheap and easy, man. Cheap and easy. Get all this stuff without going to the Nether. That's the point. So basically, we want to take all of our little paths here and bring them to this point. We're going to combine them when we can. Like these 2 will combine into 1. And then on these corners, we've got 4 that will kind of merge into the middle and just shoot up the side here. Now we need to just take some glass blocks and put them on the outsides of all these ice paths. Because water will be going into them and we don't want the water spilling everywhere. I forgot to say, you don't have to use glass here. Most people do just so you can see the stuff going through. You can use any solid block. Glass is just traditional. Use other colors. Use tinted glass if you want to go that route. Whatever. Let's talk about water mechanics in Minecraft, specifically Bedrock. So water mechanics in Minecraft are a little odd. As you can see, buttons can hold back water. Don't ask. In older farms, you could use pressure plates, which some people still use, but I find that stuff gets caught on them. You could use half slabs like we've done here. Once again, stuff kind of gets caught on them. Stuff can get caught on buttons, quite frankly. But this usually will work just fine. Water flows 8 blocks. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right on this spot. So we put it, but now this is an interesting situation. So we could, this is 8. But this is 2. So we put a button there and a water source here. It'll just be a water source. Stuff will just bob up here instead of flowing through. So instead what we're going to do is put a water source. And I've been using ice because there's ice right there. And it's easier than carrying around buckets. This ice trick, by the way, only works if there's a solid block under the ice. I know that from experience. So this will flow 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. Now we could put another block here and shoot it over there, but you kind of want to maintain some speed. So I don't like to have them go any more than 6. And so as stuff drops in, well, let's just see it here. Missed. We dropped it in there. It flows through, shoots there. In this case, it shoots past, but we'll have water coming in from that side too into there. And it'll eventually all work its way in there. You can work from the target and work your way out and send water into this. You can work from the sources and send it back and forth. I think you'll find that you have to kind of do a little bit of both just to make everything really work well. Go ahead and fill in your water paths, however you have yours designed. Test it periodically, throw the water in, make sure it's going toward where you want it. It doesn't matter if it gets there until the end. Once you have all the blocks in the place, everything you drop in should get there. So that's your goal. Get everything to this spot here, wherever it is on yours. Okay, I've got the far one running. You can see that stuff is coming down here. It shoots over there. And some of it will get caught in those hoppers. Some of it will actually come up here. The hoppers are just because things are getting stuck down there. For the cheap and easy farm, you're going to want these hoppers in there. And yeah, most of your stuff is going to go into them. But once you get into the nether, go ahead and replace the center ice with some soul sand. And a bubble column will be created and it'll be sent up to our AFK spot. We'll still get some stuff up there, I'm sure, but not much. Certainly once overflow happens. But you want to get as much stuff as possible, don't you? Yeah, me too. Okay, now we've got the water streams in place. We need to put some blocks over the water streams so nothing nasty spawns in them. And also so we can run redstone lines throughout. Luckily nowadays you can put redstone on glass, so we'll just use glass to cap them all off. That way we can still see all the cool stuff running through. Now we're going to use some half slabs to get the signals to all of the dispensers and this block up here. You want to make sure, especially with these dispensers, that you're not going to be powering these pistons. So you got to give it a little bit of space. Then we just feed it up the middle. Now for these, real easy. Boom and boom. Once you got all of these slabs in place, put a repeater there, redstone all the way up to there, and pretty much redstone this entire thing. Whoops. Okay, don't redstone the entire thing. The repeater here will ensure that when we put a torch here, it doesn't light up this entire redstone line. Remember that redstone only travels 15 blocks, so you need a lot of repeaters to make sure that the signals can make it all the way through. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So a repeater here, and that. Let's do some testing, make sure. Put a button there. And that did dispense the water. Let's push the button again, make sure it pulls it back. And it does. I'm going to need more repeaters. Bring all of your redstone lines to the central column, which I've replaced with some ice to show you how to build it up. So the base of our tray is at level 60. We want to go up to level 25 for our AFK spot. So the way we're doing that is ice, and make sure this is regular ice because we're going to turn it into water, surrounded by glass. So I built this all the way up to 85. We've got a little beginning of an AFK platform here. This marks our AFK spot. It is one shy of the spawn location. It could be on top of a little spawn location, doesn't matter, just around here in general. And so we want this to actually be a little bit taller. So we bring this up to 88, and then on this side, only do 2. So at the top, make this kind of a U shape with a button here. When we break this, the water will kind of flow this way, and the button will hold it back. What we're trying to do, there'll be a hopper here. What we're going to do is have all the stuff that does make it up here flow into that hopper, but also leave an open spot so XP can drop onto us and come get us, and we get some XP while we're waiting here too. So you got to this space, all you need to do is break this ice all the way down. You do have aqua affinity, right? It doesn't matter, just keep floating up as you go. If you want to use water buckets, you can use the drop a water bucket at every level. You can use a kelp trick to turn it all into water sources, but this all has to be water sources in order for it to work right. As you can see, this is a lot handier if you got conduit power. So at the top, you also want to make sure you cap off that part. We're going to end up topping this entire tray with like a glass roof type thing. And it's just at this height so it'll clear all the redstone and everything else. It's also at this level that we'll build our storage. So we just have to come in here, grab our stuff and go. We don't care about how much things are filled in. Here we have our little glass AFK enclosure with a chest and hopper line going all the way down to our main chest down there. A solid block and a button on it. Click, or button. Pressure plate on it. We're going to activate the farm by standing on the pressure plate so the water flows out and all the trident killers turn on. And we're going to send that signal down right next to our scaffolding going up to this spot. So in theory, if I flip this switch, all the water buckets will dispense. Now here's the thing. You want to do this test. However, you will be generating guardians because they're going to start spawning in at least in the far spots while you're standing in here. You should be fine. You should be safe, but they're just going to stay there until we get the trident killers in place. If they pop out, just run around and kill them. I had to do it before when I was testing something else. Ready? Let's go. So we're basically making sure that there is the water flowed out of every one of these dispensers. And the dispensers are far away, so if the dispensers work, then our trident killers will work too. Okay, see here? This won't work if you don't actually put all of the redstone in. Okay, you turn it off, and you'll notice that the water stays on there. That's no big deal. Just turn it back on again. Okay, so in order to get our redstone signal down from way up there, we need to build what's called a torch cascade. Now, why we decided to call this torch cascade and call ladder something else, I don't know. The thing of it is cascades only go down, which, sure, it means kind of like a waterfall. But ladders go up and down. Why do we call a torch ladder something that only goes up? It makes no sense. So you put a redstone down, you put a block on top of it, put a block there, you break that block, you put that there, and you continue on. So each block you have has redstone and a redstone on top and torch on the side. And it just kind of goes up like that until you get to the top. Now, as you're doing this, these things are going to be flipping on and off. You're going to have tons of guardians there. You may lag out and die. When you get to about this point, we should be able to bring this line over. Let's see. Well, we certainly don't want to walk off of that. Now you've got your tower, or your cascade, sorry, set up right when it's actually, you can see all the redstone on. And the reason we want it on is so that the pistons are extended. When these lines are off, then our trident killer will be going. If it doesn't work out as nicely as mine did, which was completely by happenstance, just look up a NOT gate. If I could think about how to do them off the top of my head, I would and show you, but I can't. Okay, now that we've got the switch in place, I broke the redstone down here in such a way that there is no water. I had to put it back in and break it again so that the water was not there. Because now it's time for the tridents. All 50 tridents. To set this up, all you need to do is go to all 25 spawn locations and throw a trident into each of the pistons. And then try not to walk too close to them and pick them up again, because then you have to throw them again. It's really annoying. Oh, and don't worry about these guys. They won't bother you. I mean, you can shoot them with arrows through the corners if you want, but whatever. Now that we've got 50 tridents in place, go ahead and turn the thing back on. And the water back off again. And then we're going to start placing redstone torches. Now that all of those are in place, we are ready to test the full farm. Now, there's a bit of a thing with turning this farm on. Basically, you have to step on the plate, step off the plate, let it pop up, then step back on it. The first step in release is to turn on the water. The second step is to make sure that the Trident killers can actually work. You can see all those things zapping me. That means they are dying in numbers. Oh, and look at that XP coming up to say, hey! I turn it off. You just release again. So when it's cheap and easy, you're probably going to get most of your stuff down here. As you saw, some things will go back up. I did replace that center ice with just a normal block to slow things down from when they're going in through here. And now all I got to do is cover this entire thing with some glass. So as you can see, my frames are about garbage. I've been just standing here with this farm activated for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It's enough to kill this. And I'm going to turn it off before I accidentally kill the realm. You can faintly hear the little twinkle, twinkle, twinkle of me getting XP, and occasionally you can see things pop in. Now I haven't got the glass top on it because I ran out of glass. Ooh, that guy's angry. Ooh, look how angry you are. Ooh, so angry. I'm still not collecting tons of stuff in this, but my chest down here are okay. Sometimes cheap and easy means making some sacrifices, and one of those sacrifices is having to get most of your things in these chests. So what I suggest is as soon as you get into the Nether, one of the first things you do is go ahead and replace that block with soul sand. So you have a bubble column going up. It'll speed things up. Take out these hoppers. That way your collection system up there will be your main collection system. So there you have it. Another cheap and easy farm. Build it. It's a good one. I'm just going to go ahead and put these last blocks on here. I think I've only got 8 more heads to collect to put them on here. And like 6 stacks of glass. Okay, so this one won't technically be done for a while, but it's good enough for now. It still works. I'm going to go up here and stand around for 3 minutes, let the XP dissipate, stand around for 3 more minutes, let the XP dissipate. Hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure to check out the rest of the Forever Bedrockers. I still kind of like Forever Bedrockers. I'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget your looting.